Our guest titans are pitch and sales coach Karina Cunha and comedian Tehran Von Gazri. First up today, we have Mark, the Be Great Guy Pappas.
I'm for Kids is personal development for kids and families. If you have to describe it in one sentence, think Tony Robbins meets Charlie Brown. Hello, Titans.
Greetings.
There's an identity crisis within the children of America. Over 50% of American kids have a negative self-image. And the identity they form now as kids is the identity that they're gonna have as adults. 3 of the most common answers when 2nd through 5th graders are asked to complete the statement, I am ... are I am fat, I am stupid, or I'm ugly.
Wow.
My name is Mark Pappas, and I'm known as the Be Great Guy because of my work bringing personal development to kids. I'm a published author, and I'm a renowned expert in the field of kids' emotional intelligence and personal development. So I'd actually like to share these with you. So my adult book for parents, teachers, and coaches is in both English and Spanish. And then this is the first of what will be a series of kids' children's books.
We get the kids' book, they get the adult
Yeah,
one.
I saw that too.
I understand that you're saying those statements that kids feel that way. How much is that also a factor of like how they may be choosing to live their lives, or their parents are influencing some of those decisions? Because obviously obesity is a problem in the country.
Well, that's the key, basically what we're talking about here is that whether it be a child or an adult, if you haven't decided for yourself your I am statement, then it's the loudest voices that are in your orbit that are going to determine that for you. So basically what we do is we give kids the platform within themselves to where they get to decide. And then once it's anchored in using neuroplasticity, using the mind-body connection, they become much less susceptible, if not immune, to those outside forces.
So what exactly do you do?
So we're launching the I Am for Kids brand. The brand is built on 5 pillars. So part of it is our first TV show, which is the world's first animated reality-based TV show for kids.
Animated reality show?
Yeah, I missed.
That's where we're at in life right now.
That's where we are.
It's actually reality-based.
Okay.
So it's real stories of real kids.
Oh.
But it's animated.
But it's animated, and you can have a little bit of fun with having like a villain character in there, etc. But it is true stories of real kids. And then with parents' permission, those kids then get the opportunity to be an additional I Am for Kids character. We're starting off with 5 original characters, again, all based on real kids and real stories that happened in their lives.
How far are you along on the animation reality TV show?
So as far as the TV show, we finished our sizzle reel about 8 weeks ago.
Okay.
So we're actively shopping it now.
What are some of the other pillars?
The other pillars are the AI toys and the video games, which go hand in glove with the TV show.
Where are those at along the journey?
Those we're actually going to be reaching out to the toy companies and the video game producers within the next couple of weeks.
So they're not made yet? This is still, okay.
None of this is made. We are
So all
pre-revenue
this is-
startup.
Okay, thank you. That's what we need to know. Okay.
Okay.
And what are AI toys?
The smart AI toys literally interact. So just kind of like if you were to interact with your Google Assistant or Grok or any of the other AI engines that are out there. And the beautiful thing about this is that they learn from the interaction with the child. So your experience with a Nika doll would be completely different than mine because we're 2 different people. We have 2 different belief systems, and they can learn from that, but still be able to come back and teach the core of what we do.
How do you control the content that the AI is sharing with the child?
The people that we partner with write the AI. Okay, so it's not like we're using like an open source.
It's fixed.
Exactly, yeah, it's got
Yep.
parameters.
Okay.
I would love to better understand what is your unique value proposition towards that.
There's nobody who combines the entertainment side of it, the same education value, doing things that will actually have an impact on their lives. It's not like SpongeBob, for example.
The core value proposition of your offering is actually the IP that you create, and you're packaging it in different channels.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
I'm 100% behind Mark, and I'd love to send Mark to every kid. And I don't care how he's going to convey the message, but how are we going to make money to sustain it
Right.
and
David
grow it?
wants to know, where's the beef?
Since we started on the first pillar of the TV show, so let's say we finished the sizzle reel about 8 weeks ago and have been shopping it. There should be one of the slides that should be behind me is a response that we got literally just last week from a streaming service called Mindatorium. And Mindatorium is a streaming service that specializes in entertainment with a personal development slant. So again, to be clear, it's not rebroadcasting of somebody's seminars. It's movies and TV shows, et cetera, that have the story that delivers at the end some sort of a personal development, a moral, if you will.
Give me an example of one.
So he just put the kids' book in front of you. That is the story that is our pilot episode. And it's a story of a young girl who basically got tired of seeing her good friend being bullied by the bullies in the neighborhood. And first time it happened, she didn't do anything about it, and she felt bad about it. The little boy is actually was a cancer survivor who unfortunately is no longer with us, but the good little girl is in a wheelchair. So she basically on the school bus just literally said, like, got mad and started yelling at them to stop it. That you guys think you're so strong, you think you're so cool, you're not. Here's a guy who's been fighting cancer for the last 8 years. If you were to see him, Brian had lost most of his hair because of the chemo, et cetera. And once again, that's another thing they used to make fun of him about. It's just like, if you think you're strong, that's strength, right? You think you're
Okay,
cool.
I love that. See,
Yeah,
that's compelling,
great.
right? That's the beef. Okay, we get
the
it.
beef.
That's the beef,
I
right?
love that.
That kind of messaging to children, I think, is very, very powerful. Where do you start? Because with the money you're going to raise out of the gate, you can't do everything.
Exactly.
Where's the strongest sort of starting point for you?
It's not so much the linchpin, because the linchpin, if you remove it, everything falls apart. But the biggest pin is the TV show. Because once that gets picked up, then there's going to be demand for all of the other things.
Well, what happens if they don't pick it up? What happens when,
We'll keep shopping it.
to who? Well, what happens if they don't pick it up?
We'll keep shopping it.
Getting a TV show is actually more difficult than making it to the NBA. And even though we think we have so much content, it's very difficult. What happens if one of the networks or streaming services or platforms does not take your show on?
Then we do it ourselves. YouTube.
Put it on YouTube, absolutely.
I think YouTube
Exactly.
is the best. I think you should be going on YouTube now.
Now, build
I
an
think-
audience, create the demand, show
Build
that
it
there's a real
then.
market
yeah,
for it.
build it. If you build it, they will come.
We need money to do that, hence my being here today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that you can make a lot of things with AI today. So I would love to better understand your use of funds, because I wonder if some of those things may, if you hire some very techie AI people, you may be able to do a lot with that funding.
I don't even know if you need the AI techie people. There are programs out there that
Exactly.
are incredible. All they need is an idea, because computers aren't creative yet. They will soon be taking my job very soon. But as of now, they still need ideas. You have a wonderful idea. I don't know how proprietary it is, because you'll have copycats as soon as you want to put it out.
Right.
However, if you get to market first, maybe that's your advantage.
Exactly.
I wouldn't wait. I would pull the trigger now and create it AI and put it on YouTube.
But you can have a great program, and there's a lot of them out there. You're totally right. But someone's got to know what keystrokes to hit. To Corinna's point.
yeah.
So you still need that person. Like I don't think I could sit down in front of a computer with the greatest AI tools and churn out the kind of content that I think this deserves. So you still need some dough for some people. But I think that among just us here on the panel, we could probably help. Just in making introductions, ideas, guidance, and we probably want to try and do that for you, and then have you come back again in, I don't know, a few months, whatever you think it is, and now we can say, okay, this is what we've accomplished here just over the past few months. Now it's time to put some dough behind this thing, because I think you still need to show something, and I think that we can help you do that. So what would be the first thing that you would do here, Dave, to help him get going?
I'd actually get the correct domains and on all platforms. Because if you're going to create YouTube content, you can parse that out into post-production content for every single platform and start building a community. I think the unique thing is that he's proven there's a community out there that isn't being served. And so to utilize the content in all formats to build that community on all of these will probably be, things will go viral very quickly. If you've gotten even the limited response, I believe the numbers that you show, you could do that today.
You could potentially fund all of this with very little money, and you can come back with traction because people invest on an idea that has been proven. The money should be to accelerate what is already proven rather than to prove that it works.
So you've got the content there, you've got the ideas, you just need somebody to execute that. You put that out on YouTube, you start generating the following, money is going to flow to you faster than you even know what to do with it.
Thank you, Titans.
Well done.
Thank you.
Hey, I just finished my pitch at Go Fund Yourself, and I'm feeling excited but a little bit disappointed. I'm definitely walking away with some help that I'm going to be getting from people who have access to the people that I need to get to. The thing I was disappointed by, which I guess is a good thing because they were interested or was asking me a lot of questions, and I didn't get a chance to get to some of the traction points that I think would have made the story a little bit more attractive.
I think he needs a bit more traction. He has so much IP and ideas behind on how to improve kids' lives, and if we have that engagement, then it becomes completely investable, but we need to see it.
He's got a sizzle. He can break that sizzle on TikTok, on YouTube, try to see if he could try to get some followers there.
Community, community, community. I don't care where he gets it from.
One of his strongest assets is that he's got a real and genuine and sincere passion for this. So let's see if we can help him.
I do think you need someone cool, though, to come in and maybe make this stuff a little cooler.
Voice over in the animation.
I feel like Jason's got a kid voice waiting to come out.
I'm here, let's go play today.
Don't ever do that again.
I won't.
You're going to get arrested.
Guest Titans Rhonda Coates from the Credit Authority Radio Show and Dr. Sean Dill, best-selling author of None of Your Business. Today we have Ben Henley from IVAI.
I'm here to pitch my idea, IVAI, which is teaching artificial intelligence to interpret sign language. No one is finding a way to make this useful to that community. I'm probably gonna hear 1,000 no's before I hear one yes, and I'm okay with that. My name is Ben. I'm the creator and the founder of Ivy, ASL, which is an interpreter for American Sign Language. My inspiration came from my mom, who is deaf. In 2023, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 3. That brought almost daily trips to the hospital. It's Moody Breast Cancer Center, which is located in Dallas, Texas. That's a great group of people. I just wanted to say that. But they all had the same wish. They all wanted to be able to communicate with my mother uninhibited. They usually have to wait for an interpreter to be dialed up. Sometimes that takes 30 minutes. Sometimes that takes a couple of hours. That was my aha moment. I said, what if they had an interpreter in their pocket? That sparked the conception of this. That was almost 2 years ago. What I do is when I speak to the nurses or anything and they ask those questions, now I can just have them dial it up and put it on their phone. But it doesn't allow my mom the opportunity to say anything back to them. So it's sort of like a one-sided conversation. This is a pre-revenue company, so we have no revenue. Today I ask for funding and mentorship also, because with me wanting to grow this into a company, something that can grow beyond me, it requires funding, it requires mentorship.
Amazing story, and I love what you're doing. You said it's, no funding. What are you using the money for, and how much are you asking?
Today I'm asking for 3 years of operating capital.
Okay.
That would allow us to get office space. What we have to do is teach AI to have eyes. So if you're over there signing at me, if you're deaf and you're signing at me, I can hold my camera up and it will interpret to me what you're saying, and it will also give me the responses.
Is it doing that now?
No, that's what the funding is for. It's for the location. I have found a building already, but I need to bring in signers and I need to bring in programmers. It's proprietary data, so we have to create that ourselves.
What is that going to cost?
The interpreters cost $50 an hour. A programmer to come and do this is going to be about $20,000 to come in. But my goal is to collect 10,000 hours. I need 10,000 hours minimum conversation. These people, they have pride. So you can't just take something and throw it at them because they will reject it. Right. And so if we have a product that is crap and we bring it out to market, they'll identify it immediately and they will reject it.
My understanding of AI and the AI developers that I utilize is that you wouldn't have to do all of that.
Okay.
There's visual tools in AI that you could literally just go through the alphabet and then coordinate it with the actual vocabulary, and it would actually, with a virtual hand and no real signing, be able to facilitate through AI exactly what you're looking to do. I don't know the identity of somebody like your mom and how close you would get, et cetera, but I am having an educated guess that there's even a better way to get to market faster, which would add value to what you want to do. And I love someone that has a purpose greater than, when it's mission-based, not commission-based, that's usually when the commissions come from personal experience. So I think you may actually have a quicker way to revenue than you even think.
Have you started with a business plan yet?
I had originally had a for-profit business plan. After speaking with you, I did develop another not-for-profit business plan. So yeah, we do have a couple in place.
When Ben and I had spoken privately before today, and I think there's a lot of grant funding available for opportunities, especially because he's working with disabilities.
For sure.
The mission is phenomenal and to be commended, but is the intent of you being here today to get the funding to just accomplish the mission, or is there also revenue? Is there profit on the other side of this?
There is always going to be a profit aspect of it, but that's not the first and foremost thing that I'm concerned about at this point. I want something that won't be rejected and something that will last 20 years from now. Like if somebody looked back and saw us on this show 20 years from now, they would be like, okay, that's where that came from. If we went in the direction for the for-profit, the revenue stream would come from business to business. I don't know if you guys know the story, but like a year ago, there was this lady and she was doing sign language for the federal government in emergency situations, like for FEMA or for something bad happened. This woman was not speaking sign language at all. She was literally, she had scammed the government like for 2 years. She was just up there just.
I heard about that, yeah.
She did that for 2 years. But then there are also 10 other sign languages around the globe. So we would just get started right here. We would build out a viable platform. We would reach out to the governments and see who would utilize our tool. And then once we establish here, as far as the revenue, then you could go global.
But this is your opportunity to reach out and speak directly to the entire world through a platform, through media. And we're looking for people that want to get on board with this mission, with your mission, your big mission, inspired by your mother. That's what we're looking for. We need to put the profit, hey, what's my return on my investment, on the back burner for now. But really our appeal is we have to really see that this really answers a call for people, and it solves a problem for people that nobody's really trying to solve except for you.
So in America, there are over 11 million people that are legally declared deaf or hard of hearing. That's a fact. The family members, the app is created for us, the family members and the friends. If you added 3 people, like with my mom, you just have me and my brother. So that's 2 people in her immediate circle. And if you counted her doctor, and that would be 3 people. If you're looking at it from proximity, you have a 30 million user base that's built in. This is not a social media app where we're trying to hang out or want to have fun and we can choose to use it if we don't. This is something that is mandatory in certain households.
It sounds like what you're doing is you've become an advocate for the lack of technology in this space.
Exactly.
And one of the recommendations that I would think, we could talk about, at a later time would be about really building yourself a team. You need a power team, because I don't know that you have the time to be the advocate plus be your mother's caretaker.
Yeah.
How much time do you have that you're dedicating right now to this project?
I do it in the wee hours. At this phase, I have no income. Like I said, it's pre-revenue. So I have to gather information. I have to gather knowledge. I have to look for the new changes that are going on in the artificial intelligence area as well, because there are so many different things coming out. But from what I can gather, a lot of the artificial intelligence that is being created is just created to help other artificial intelligence.
You mentioned earlier that you've had a few nurses and other people sign up. So it is working.
Yes,
right?
It is.
You're wanting to enhance it. My question is how many people are using it and how is it working? What's special for them?
So right now it's under 50 people. It's like under 50 people that have actually used it and spoken to my mother. Like I said, the nurses that come in house, a few nurses at the hospital.
Are you able to track their data? Meaning who's downloaded it or no?
I haven't been able to actually track the data. I'm tracking it based on performance from interactions. Like when they come in, hey, I want to tell your mom this, and I'll go, okay, well, download that. And then once I get them to download it, they'll go, oh, this is all, and then they'll learn to sign, and then they'll sign it to her, which makes her happy. But at the same time, like I say, there's no way for her to filter her response back to them.
That's where the technology needs to be upgraded.
Let me share with you how I see this scenario. Every once in a while, there's a socially important direction. And it doesn't necessarily require money.
Yeah.
What it requires is a person with a vision that becomes the lightning rod for it, the figurehead for it. And I see that in you. But you need exposure, because the technology to make this work, I don't think you need to go raise money to develop it. I think it's already out there. I think what you need is the exposure. People are going to watch this. They're going to say, hey, you know what? I could manipulate my existing AI platform to actually do this. And this is something that's meaningful. And you will inspire that person or that company seeing this show, and they'll rise to the occasion and get this done. So I don't know that necessarily you need to go form a company, try to hire people, try to raise money and do this. I think the technology's there. They just need the inspiration from someone like you and your story. Agreed. So, right?
Yeah,
so
good vision.
I think with some mentorship from my colleagues here on the panel, and the exposure that I hope that you'll get from the show, because I believe in people, and I believe that there are people out there that can make this happen, and they can make it happen quickly. And I think your story, your personality, your genuineness, your sincerity, it's not about profit, it's about creating a solution for people who are desperately in need of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I just pour my heart into the pitch and come off stage. This opportunity means everything for my tool, my company, my mission. It means everything for the ASL community, because this has opened the door for awareness for them.
What's great about this show is you can be at any aspect of the time of your journey.
Yeah.
You can be where he's at, which is the infancy stage of really just getting this thing going with 50 users. And that's the unique thing for the investors and the viewers watching the show, is you can get in uber early and be a part of that vision that he has.
I don't think that this is something that people are investing in because they're like, how am I going to get my money back? They're investing in really just with knowledge, skills into him to help him to realize this dream of helping others that are just like his mom. So I hope that people really connected with what you said and that they see that as an opportunity.
People will fund him, whether it be through knowledge or dollars, you're right.
Or relationships.
Or relationships.
Exactly.